Record on the computer. Okay, everyone, thank you for tuning in to the free weekly webinar. So I'm here consistently every week, unless I'm doing my Creed 5-day program, to share information, juicy tidbits of healthy information, but then also to demo stuff. So you can see that right here live in the kitchen. So it's not a textbook style, but I do prepare a little PowerPoint so you can see some visual, and that's what we're going to share. But tonight's talk is all about yummy, warming drinks. And it's so important when it's cold out to feel comfort and to feel warmth. And a lot of drinks mean well, but when there's unhealthy ingredients or way too much sugar, they're really not suiting and satisfying our health overall. So it is getting chillier out, and I've got the windows open because I'm really loving this chill. And you girls here in Sarasota know it's really nice when it gets brisk out. The body responds, it wants more warmth, and that's really nice because we are entering the winter season, our winter season. So I'm gonna go ahead and share. I'm gonna wear my yummy pink cap because it's my favorite. And I'm gonna share the screen with you. And we are gonna go full up here. And I'm going to hide the video panel. I'm just waiting for the commands to come down. There we go. More. Okay. I've been going to try to do this live also on Facebook, but it takes a little while to connect, so I have to get better at that. Anyway, so we're going to do it this way because I reposted anyway. But so this is do it yourself. Really super easy. When you find out it only takes 5 minutes, it's really easy. We're going to prepare the spices for the chai latte, and really simple. I timed myself the other night. And literally just 5 minutes because I wanted to have it right before a show came on or I was going to be doing something. So it's warming lattes in minutes, and we're going to see why we need to choose a little bit. We need to choose alternate ones than the ones that are so conveniently available on the market. Warming spices are so comforting, and they are, when we talk about the foods of fall, they are the foods of fall. All the warming spices, the cinnamon, the nutmeg, the cloves, the ginger, the cardamom, the coriander, cloves. So all of that is really comforting. But what we want is comfort without the crash. And that takes place also with any of the foods that I make and all of my delicious, never deprived snacks and treats. So the conventional lattes just do not support health. And it's a little bit of education goes a long way, because we do spend quite a bit of money when we go into Starbucks looking for a treat. And this is a huge, huge amount of treat, because 1 teaspoon is 4 grams of sugar. So you times that 12.5 times 4, and you'll see how much you're getting. Now, most of us would not eat 18 little candy canes, but that's kind of what it adds up to in the body. So it might taste good, but you're really not getting the taste or the flavor. And in fact, the pumpkin spice is all artificially chemicalized. It's not real pumpkin spice. And then you've got this white chocolate. Look at all the teaspoons there. So we've got chemical flavorings that we have to tiptoe around. We've got conventional dairy that is it's mucus forming, even if you don't think you're allergic to it, at this under the threshold of pain kind of feeling. So when it is flu season, it's really good to skip anything that's dairy, because of the mucus forming in the body where bacteria can also grow, and it's got tons of sugar. So these are really disasters when we look at our overall health. So these look so pretty though. So I suggest go buy a glass in there if you like these, but skip the, and of course the whipped cream is filled with emulsifiers and very inflammatory fats. So you're talking just the sugar part, 40 to 72 grams of sugar. So when we're looking at our body, and it's only supposed to have no more than 24 to 30, and this is not of refined, of unrefined sugar that's allowable. This is really just too much. So we need some alternatives. Even the and this is a kind of telltale picture here, but even the free coffees that they have in buildings, like my building here, I looked at the ingredients in the back of the latte mix. It's filled with high fructose corn syrup. So this is where they shove in that stuff and all the artificial flavors. So I've tried it. It tastes like a bunch of sugar. So does it taste good? It does, because the brain loves sugar, but it's not serving us, and you really can't taste the spices. So because diabetes today, I did this on the great express, but is it $330 billion draw on our healthcare system? We need to do something. And really, the easiest thing to do is go from the left picture to the right. Just include more whole fruits, vegetables, and keep it clean. And you will be amazed how your body responds. And if you get rid of the sugar drinks just in 1 month, that just makes a huge difference. So this is where we are going. So because my cookbook is coming out, I'm just helping people, educate them on the bioenergetic cooking method, because macrobiotics was really big in the 70s and 80s and 90s in New York City. And in fact, the creator, Dr. Joshua Rosenthal of the Institute of Integrative Nutrition, where I graduated from, he used to teach. And these teachings were similar to the bioenergetic cooking method, although they took into account some of the yin and yang energy of the foods. So you see, it's basically the same. I have incorporated the traditional Chinese medicine and Ayurvedic medicine teachings in here, in the whole methodology in the write-up. So it is about life and vitality, eating for a lifetime of vitality. That's really where it breaks down. You're going to explore how food has energy, and that it's really information for ourselves, and that it's infused with intention, our intention that we put into it. That's why food made at home is such a great investment, as much as possible. So here's our chai latte. Looks really, really pretty. I don't do any conventional dairy because of my own body and how I've experienced it. And I've even tried, and I just know how I feel, how my gut feels. So chai means tea in India. And I want to give a shout out to my daughter, Lindsay, because Lindsay got me introduced to chai tea a long time ago, because she used to like it. So the spices really are all those yummy spices I talked about: nutmeg, cinnamon, cardamom, cloves, coriander, ginger. I doubled up on cardamom here, pepper, so I can edit that. So we're gonna break from the screen, and I'm just gonna show you, I still can't see myself full, but I'm gonna show you what I have put together here. So of course I have lots of little jars, and these little jars, I put my my little snacks in, my hug in a jar, my chocolate avocado mousse in these, so I always have them around. And you definitely want a wide mouth. You can even do a smaller one, but I've pre-mixed the spices. So I'm going to give you what the breakdown is that I've used in here. I did some research and kind of played with them the way I like them. But you'll see there's a little more ginger. Now, we're going to look into the primary ingredients that go into these and see why they're so good. But ginger is so good for your stomach and your whole digestive system, also for your liver, helping to break up fatty liver. 3 teaspoons of ginger I have in here, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, a teaspoon of cloves, a teaspoon of nutmeg, a teaspoon of cardamom, and a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. Now, if you guys don't have all those for some reason, a very easy fix for your latte is to put in your the pumpkin spice. A pumpkin spice mix is already going to have a mixture with the cloves, with the nutmeg, with the cinnamon, and with the ginger. And did I say nutmeg? Yeah. So this is a good alternative if you don't have all these already. But so it's really nice to have. I like the Simply Organic because they stack really nice side by side. You guys have seen my spice cabinet. It's all organized, all front facing. That way you can see and create. It makes it very easy. So we're going to create this, and so I have an electric hot water Get over here. We just want to, we're going to steep some water and we are going to mix up the milk. Now, you know that I only use the Malk brand, and I used to make my own almond milk before because traditional almond milk is filled with fillers, and those things will gunk up your stomach. So they're the gums, they're thickeners. They do not have, they have a trace amount of almonds, so you're really not getting the nutrition that you think. And you can literally make almond milk in minutes. It's going to be in my book. But to take away from that, we have this product, and I buy the vanilla, that way I don't have to add an extra vanilla extract, because I do like similar drinks with that. Vanilla is comforting, and it's got real vanilla in here. It's got 3 ingredients. So you have filtered water, you have organic sprouted almonds, and you have, what else? That's it, vanilla, yeah. So, and then, oh, Himalayan sea salt. So it takes away the problem with that. So this is the way I start. Now this little magic bullet I use quite often. Let me just turn this and point this down a little bit. So I use this little magic bullet, and I have different tops. They always have sales where they have lots off, but this is really worthy to have. It's the bigger one, so you can crush up ice. So I actually do. I put a piece of ice in here in the bottom. Let me just grab, I have them sitting in this little. So I put in some ice. That just gives the blade something to hold on to. So in the meantime, what I do is I'm just going to steep the tea. So I've chosen to use the Allegra Organic Decaf because I don't do caffeinated teas. It stimulates my adrenals too much. You want to make sure you're getting organic. So this is a good one to try out. So I'm just going to make this nice and black. We're going to mix them after. I already have the pan steeping on the stove. So here's the tea. And I've chosen to use a clear glass, and you might have some for the holidays that are clear, that are really, really pretty. So we're just going to let that get black. I've got 2 ice cubes in here. I'm going to put probably about a cup or half a cup. I actually like mine a little bit watered down. So the other way you can do it is steep the milk and add the tea bag to that. But I like to put the spices in here and blend it up because it gets it really frothy. So since I have them all blended, I'm just going to take a nice half teaspoon of the blend and put it in there. If I think it needs something else after, because when I made it before, I just put different, I just put them all in. So it's so convenient to have that mix already. So I'm just going to put the top on here and give it a yeah, that's why I like to do it in here, because it really makes it nice and creamy. So the pan has already been heating. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're gonna start over with a little bit more. So, no problem. Just gonna go with the flow here. Put this back in. Let me get some things out of the way. That's part of the problem. All right, the tea has gotten nice and dark, so I'm going to add this in. I'm going to mix up the milk just a little bit more here while I clean up this. So, like I said, I just like to get it nice and creamy, and I'm just going to pour it into the black tea. I'm going to put it onto the stove for a minute and stir it up. And because the pan is already hot, you don't need it to boil, you just need it to steep. And then I'm going to show you how wonderful this Malk froths, because I like the Chai Latte to have a froth on top. The Golden Latte does not need a frothing on top because it's all mixed together and it's super clean. So let's put this to the side because we're going to use that again. And I'll show you how easy this froth. So this is an espresso frother back here, and it's very easy. You don't need much because you've already got your latte, but I like a little bit on top. So if you want to give yourself a little extra treat, put it there, you press it, and it's all done by itself. And let's get this cleaned up a bit. So let me just stop the recording for a second. Go forward. So we've taken it off the stove and we're pouring it into the glass. And I like to be able to see the separation. So we're going to leave a little space on the top. It's almost perfect. So I just had a little bit. So what I do when I do the frothing, see how beautiful that is? And then I just scoop out the extras. And so that gives you, it's a visual appeal that you also want when you're doing a latte. And I'm going to put cinnamon sticks in the other one, but then I always sprinkle a tiny bit of cinnamon on the top. Your choice, because it's kind of about your own palate. You might not like as much cloves. I don't like as much cardamom actually, so I dip it down just a little bit. So then you can just stir it up and enjoy it. Because it did not boil, it's going to be perfect. Oh, I did forget one thing, sorry. I was like, wow, I can really just taste the spices. It's super clean. So I do put some buckwheat honey, but here's the difference. First of all, this is from one of our local honey places in Winter Park. You can get it at our farmer's market here. You guys always hear me talk about it. It's super high in antioxidants, similar to that of Manuka honey. The antioxidants are more helpful to the body. The body recognizes this as a non-refined sugar. And it looks so delicious when you put it on top as well. So it's all part of the experience. And then you're not overdosing your body with refined sugar that's going to cause insulin spikes. Now all we have is a really high quality almond milk that's going to have the nutrients. It's going to have the good monounsaturated fats from the almond, the antioxidants from the almonds, the vitamin E, because it actually has almonds in it, a good amount, and you can smell them, and it froths really nice. So this looks really fabulous. So I'm going to sip on this while we move on, and then we're going to bring up to the board here our gorgeous ginger and turmeric that I just love making this golden latte. And it is the feature of my last day of my Creed program. After a day of juicing and honoring the body and the cells, we treat it with a really nice, relaxing, high antioxidant drink. So we're going to go back to sharing the screen and move on. I am going to talk about the Creed program in the middle, so stay tuned to the end because that's where we're making it. So yeah, so here's the reset for after the holidays. I actually still have it on Black Friday special, so if anybody beats me there who's watching the video before I get to change it, you'll definitely be honored at the lower price. So January is a perfect time for an energy reset, especially, and a gentle detox, especially after we're always going to have a little bit more sugar and inflammatory foods. We do have to enjoy ourselves a bit. So it's a great time. So gaining those healthy tools to help jumpstart and achieve the health goals, so we don't go from gaining a few pounds to gaining even more. And so we're feeling in control. So I invite you to check out the Creed Health Program. It really is an epic 5-day program that I've gotten great feedback on. It's so much education. I know several of you on here have already completed the program, and it's really about getting you more energy, but I want to build confidence for people, confidence in their body, confidence in being able to have empowerment over your body, and a new reverence for food. So that's kind of the basis here. It's going to start January the 10th through the 14th. So in those 5 days, I guarantee you're going to have a renewed health creed. That's a commitment to your beliefs are going to change, and it's going to help you change your actions, because it's going to be a mindfulness. It's all about not giving up on health and that we really have a lot of power. So I am building confidence, creativity in the kitchen, and compassion for yourself. This is what I learned myself 8 years ago in 5 days. And we're learning about real food, real health, real energy, cellular energy, where that comes from, empowerment. That's what we really need these days. So there's not fear around our health. And also deciding to self-nourish, no diets, learning how that's possible, and staying delicious. So there is an early sign-up bonus still after. I'll go in and change it, but it's still at 150 right now. So anyone listening that gets on there before I'm able to change it, you're welcome to enjoy the extra savings. And so thank you for taking a look at that CREEP program. It really is, it's really special. I want to keep it really affordable just to help people to educate. But this is really what our holidays are about already. So we really don't need our comforting drinks to add more. So if we can cut back the sugar in other places, we can afford to have one of grandma's special treats, you know, in small amounts. But this stuff adds up, and you see that those lattes, if anywhere from 45 to 72 grams of sugar, is really going to cut into how you feel and your body responds, how you sleep, your stress levels, your anxiety. So so this is from last week, and it's relevant still, because when we have all these choices of drinking and eating, and we can have fun, but eating well, remember, it's a form of self-love. Eating and drinking well is how we are honoring our bodies. So the Golden Latte is going to be next. I love this one. It is a warming delight here. So you're going to get the vanilla. I don't even add any extra, but if you just have plain, the plain milk, you can add the vanilla, cinnamon, ginger, turmeric. So this is a great way to get raw ginger and raw turmeric into your body. I really don't in a lot of different ways. So unless I do put a little ginger into my smoothies, because it's really great for your tummy, your digestion, and your liver. We're going to learn about some of the active ingredients, but it's really just the almond milk. And I kind of water it down a little bit. So I might do a cup of the almond milk and a half a cup of filtered water. That's just the way I like it. We're going to put in a nice chunk of ginger root. I gauge it. Sometimes I get a little more ginger and I'm like, wow, this is really nice. The organic turmeric, I'm going to be using 2 kinds. I'm using a beautiful mango and a Hawaiian, right from the ginger guy at the farmer's market. He is a sweetheart. Go see him if you're local. I also use some of his dry organic turmeric in there. And hold on, I'm going to grab it. What it does, it gives it like a richer color. And some Ceylon cinnamon I like to put on top, and some honey. You're going to see how easy this is. But why is it so important? So ginger root. Now, this is going to be featured in my book. In the back of the book, I'm having a healing glossary. So I don't think we're going to have enough pages to have all the photos in there, but there's going to be photos all throughout the book. But there's going to be a description along with some really cool information about ingredients. So you can kind of get excited about how, you know, great it is. But the top 3 I'm using here, the ginger, the turmeric, and the cinnamon, they've been around for thousands of years, providing powerful antioxidants that help reduce inflammation in the body. So if we've got a ton of sugar in our drink, these do nothing, because you're just counteracting everything. But gingerol is the bioactive compound in here. It really works well for nausea. It helps the absorption of nutrients, because we have absorption issues, a lot of us, because of our gut issues, going from just inflammation to the bowel to diverticulosis to more. There's so many problems right now with gut health. It's a warming spice, so it aids in digestion, and it's good for people that run a little cold, maybe A blood types. And it's been used medicinally in Ayurvedic medicine for a very long time. So moving on to turmeric, and you see this is turmeric here, and this will be the ginger root, and I think this is part of a mango ginger here, a mango turmeric. It's really there's so many scientific backing studies on this, so it's not something that does it work. We know it works. It's antimicrobial. It does work against inflammation. It does help you sleep better. It does help with anxiety. That's why I do love it in the evening. There's studies to show it helps prevent and inhibit development of cancer cells, and more soothing effect here on your digestive system. So beautiful two roots to utilize. Now cinnamon as well, one of the world's #1 spices used all over. So it's so common. It smells delicious. It signals nice thoughts in the brain. That, you know, that's how these that's how aromatherapy works. There's a signal to the brain. It has us, you know, evoke a different emotion. So that calming, naturally sweet. So it's nice to add to things to help break the sugar connection. It's also known to help with blood sugar. But if you're adding cinnamon to a very sweet drink, you're not getting the benefits. So there's over 41 different protective compounds in cinnamon. It's really, really amazing. So anyway, so thank you guys. Now I'm going to tune off. We're going to leave the PowerPoint here, and we are going to make the latte. But make sure, if you're not following me already, I do post a lot of stuff on my Facebook. I do have a YouTube channel there where this will go, KK's Fit Kitchen, and just my name, Kimberly Knox. So let me stop the share, and let's make this beautiful latte. So it's super easy. What I start with is this. Y'all can see here. We got turned around when I dropped the milk. Okay, so I just, I do start with a little ice in here just so the blades have something, because we're gonna warm this up. And we just make sure this is nice, yes. All right, so this is the mango turmeric. Let me show you what it looks like. What I do is I just slice off some pieces. So the mango is light, so you're not going to get all that discoloration. That's why I drink my turmeric, the golden latte with a glass straw. So I'm putting in some of that, and then of course I'm going to put in some of the Hawaiian. So this is a little bit stronger, and we're going to get the red. I put ginger and turmeric in my Fire in the Hole anti-inflammatory energy product as well. That smells so good. There's nothing like his. If you're able to go get his fresh turmeric, you're just going to love it. So I'm just going to slice off some ginger here. I love grated ginger in different dressings. You can also grate ginger with some ghee or some grass-fed butter and a little bit of maple syrup, and glaze it over any of the squashes at this season, just lightly, not a lot. And so we're going to add the milk. And this is where the blades will break this down nice. I'm actually going to put in a little bit of, this is his ground ginger as well. I mean, turmeric, because I like that rich yellow color. So it's a visual appeal. So I just find this little blender to work so well for this. So let me pause this while I turn this on so it's not so loud for the recording. All right, so it's beautiful. Literally, I don't think it was even on there a minute. So my pan has already been warming over there. So this is what I do. I actually started straining it. You don't have to strain it, but see how easy this is? It fits right in here. You're just gonna, that way you can strain out the little bits of ginger. If you like them, that's fine. So it's gonna be a little bit thick. You can use a spoon, or you're drinking this, it's your fingers, fine. So you're gonna have nice big particles of the ginger and turmeric. I put quite a bit in here. So now it's gonna be finer. Beautiful. Okay. So now I just finished warming this up, and it's pretty much done because you just need to warm it. And then I'm going to add a cinnamon stick. I'm going to add some of the buckwheat honey, and I'm going to top it with the Ceylon cinnamon. So hold on a sec. So what I like to put it in, you can put it in a white mug. They do stain a little bit, but I have this. It's like, so it's an insulated with a top. It's kind of nice, and it's nice and tall. You can put it into anything, but I do like the chai latte in a clear one, so you can see the separation of the frothing on top. So let me just pause this while it's here. It's already smelling so good. So it's all set over here. Let me just turn off the burner. So I'm just going to pour it in here. I already have a cinnamon stick inside. So it's already been strained. Now the pieces of the ginger, if you don't strain it, will go to the bottom. But this way you don't have to worry about it. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of the honey here. And some cinnamon on top. I got a whole menagerie of drinks over here. And that's it. If you can see, it's just a gorgeous, gorgeous yellow here. I'm just, So the difference is you're able to control the flavor. The mango turmeric is a little bit lighter in flavor, more mellow. And he has 3 different types there at the farmer's market. So everyone, thank you for tuning in. And if you want to go check out that program of mine, the Creed program, it is on my website under services. And let me just pause this. So thanks for tuning in tonight. I'm gonna copy this onto my Facebook page.